from 2007. Brady Ellison having an awesome year. But right now, we're going to be focusing on Oh Jin Hyek and Dong Hyun.
And first off, in target number 1, it's exactly who you're talking about. It's Dong Hyun from Korea, who defeated Jason Lyon, a teammate of yours from Canada, in the quarters. And here's a look at who he has faced. He's world ranked number 1, according to the FITA World Rankings, is number 3. And he's facing a teammate of his, which can be a difficult situation. We'll talk about that in a bit. But in target number 2, representing Korea, it is Oh Jin Hyek. Very good, accomplished archer and teammate of Dong Hyun. And I talked about this earlier with you, and just referring to it now. These two partnered up along with their another athlete within the Korean Archery Federation, won the gold medal in the men's team event, and now they're separated here. And the individual looking to add more medals to the already very busy medal count as far as the men are concerned in the Korean archery program.
So what I always say is that there are kind of no friends on the archery field. You can have friends off the archery field, but when you're competing against someone, you're there to be their competition. Dong Hyun does hold the 70-meter round world record, 72 arrows at 70-meter round, so he's a definitely strong shooter. And Oh Jin Hyek did hold the FITA world record. That's 4 distances, 90, 70, 50, and 30 meters, 36 arrows at each distance. And he set this record back at the World Championships in 2009. You can see both archers here starting off to the left side of the target. Again, possibly a wind that they're not feeling, possibly a wind that was on the practice field and is not on here, or vice versa. But here we see Dong Hyun with a 10.
So you talked about no friends on the archery field, but how tough is that as far as you're head to head with not only a friend but a teammate?
It's tough, but you know that both of you are doing it for the love of the sport and for your own personal pride. Once you have a teammate on the field, obviously you want to help them and get along as teammates. But Dong Hyun is not letting that happen right now. He shoots a 29 for his first set to take it. And Oh Jin Hyek could shoot a 10, but still only gives him a 27. As you can see, his group is a little bit bigger horizontally than Dong Hyun's, but there's a 10. He is sighted in, and I think he's ready to go. He's getting a little bit more confident. And, I mean, it's still anybody's game.
Yep, exactly. And you talked about earlier with the women, the final arrow was shot just for practice and just to get a feel of things. And sometimes in that situation where he fired a 10, sometimes it's a confidence thing where he knows he can do it and he's ready for the next end.
It definitely is a confidence booster. You can see they're still teammates. They came off the line. They're still talking to each other, right? They're still smiling. They're probably joking around like, what the heck was up with that wind? So both these archers are definitely going to be taking it to each other. I mean, it's also a disrespect thing if you don't take it to another one of your teammates. I know that several guys back home would have said that if I had thrown matches against them that they would feel very offended. I mean, You want to be shooting against the other person's A game. And right now, Dong Hyun is bringing his A game versus Oh Jin Hyek. And it is confirmed and official, Dong Hyun has a 2-set point lead over Oh Jin Hyek going into the second set. Oh Jin Hyek needs to win this just to tie in set points, but we'll see what happens. Dong Hyun had the tighter group right out of the starting gate, but Oh Jin Hyek is now sighted in. You see both archers are really ready to go. They want to get up on that shooting line, but the judge just told them to back off, take your time. Those 2 whistles mean approach the line. You're going to hear a single whistle, and that's going to start the shooting process, the 20 seconds for 1 arrow. Oh Jin Hyek shooting first because he is the archer trailing. That's a 7. That's very odd to see.
First shot is outside. That's something went wrong there.
Yeah, and as you can see, I don't know if you saw that, when he was at full draw, his bow was kind of floating around, suggesting that there is a wind that the archers are feeling down at the target, but down at the shooting line, but probably might not be at the target.
Now, does it make a difference whether you shoot from target number 1 and target number 2 with the wind and how it stands?
It could make a difference depending on which direction the wind is coming from. There are stands off behind target number 1, and there is a big operations booth right in front of Oh Jin Hyek on target number 2. So depending on which way the wind is coming from can make you feel it more or less. That's an 8 from Dong Hyun. See, he's off to the right.
And we're tied at 17 with the final arrows remaining in this second end.
Oh can put the pressure on by shooting a 10 right here. That's a 10.
And he does just that.
Dong Hyun needs to shoot a 10 just to tie and give a 3-1 score. But if he shoots anything less, like that 9, they are now tied at 2 set points, giving Oh the win on that set.
27-26 is
draw at 2 set points each.
Will be the official score on that end, and we are deadlocked at 2, as you mentioned, and as expected, back and forth between these two country friends and competitors here in the semifinal number 1 as far as the recurve men's individual discipline is concerned.
Now I bet Oh Jin Hyek is saying to his coach, hey, I can't feel that wind, I don't know what's going on, but I still got lucky. So definitely it's one thing that the coaches will be telling to their archers is, you know, watch those flags, watch what's happening halfway down the range, a little bit higher up in altitude, because that's where your arrow is. The judge is signaling that Dong Hyun will be shooting first because they are tied now, and we revert back to the original shooting order where Dong Hyun shot the first arrow. 2 whistles to the line, both arrows tied, both archers, sorry, tied at 2 set points.
As we take a look at some of the action from the previous end where he really rebounded after that 7, going back-to-back 10s, and well earned as he ties up the score at 2-2.
That's a 10 for Dong Hyun. Oh Jin Hyek looking for a 10 just to tie. That's a 10. It's inside the line, but definitely in, giving him the full 10 points for that arrow. Dong Hyun looking calm as ever. 9 off to the right just a little bit. Wondering if he's going to change his sight for that, but I don't think I would. Again, another arrow off to the right. There is something definitely going on the field in terms of the wind. Unfortunately, Oh Jin Hyek's arrow was less than Dong Hyun's. That is on the line, looking like it's in from our angle, but again, they're giving him a 9 asterisk with the score, which means that it could be a 9 or a 10. Oh Jin Hyek needing a 10.
They'll take a look at that a little bit later on, and this will be very important, Crispin, because it's exactly what you said there.
Unfortunately, Oh just shot a 9. So even if it's a 9 or a 10 for Im, it's still Im's. So Oh is pointing at something downrange, probably saying, I don't know what's going on. Im saying, that's mine.
Now holding a 4-2 lead here in this semifinal number 1 matchup, and it's interesting to see the two even converse between ends, because you do not see this if it's opposite countries for the most part, never really conversing during game.
Yeah, I bet both of these archers are feeling really calm, feeling really confident. You know, they've got 3 archers in the top 4, so they're going home with medals either way you put it.
Yep.
Right? So it's just going to be determined by what color your medal is going to be when you go home. And it is Oh Jin Hyek trailing, therefore shooting first. Dong Hyun in the lead. 4-2 for Mr. Im. That's a 10 for Oh Jin Hyek. You can see his group is still a little bit, it's about 3 rings wide. Not as wide as Dong Hyun's, who's got a lot more experience on the international scene. He's been around since at least 2003, where he got 2nd at the World Championships against Michele Frangilli from Italy. But Oh Jin Hyek really got onto the scene in 2009. Another 10 from Oh, that's pretty good. Oh was on the international scene in 2009 along with Im, but obviously Im has the more experience. That's a 9, possibly a 10, could be on the line. But the judges and the scorers down at the target will have to give us the official word after this set is done.
He could basically solidify this game, and he does it with 10-10-10 with a 4-4 draw here.
And last arrow just for pride and glory, it's a 9. but Oh Jin Hyek shooting a perfect set to take it and sort of say, you know what, this match ain't over. This is going to be a close one between both of us. And again, it's going to be 2 set points for O. 2 set points going to O, I should say. And tying it up 4-4.
You see both of the athletes wiping the sweat from their foreheads, and we're shaded. We're in a nice area where we won't be under the sun for long periods of time. But in their case, and now they're tied up at 4, so they've already played 4 games, and they're going to be playing at least 1 more, if not 2. Is heat a factor as far as them being in the middle of what appears to be at least plus 30-degree temperatures?
I mean, yeah, heat will definitely be a factor, and also the humidity making your skin a little shiny and getting a little bit of moisture going on the skin with the sweat. But also, if you look at the field, the mat that they're standing on is a very light blue, which will reflect a lot of sun coming from below. So you're not only getting sun from above, you're getting sun from the ground, which can give a little bit more of a heating factor. And there is no shade out there. You can see that there's no place for them to take refuge. Some archers will bring an umbrella out there just to give themselves some shade.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So Dong Hyun shooting first because they are tied and they're going back to the original shooting order. That's a 10 from Mr. Im. Let's see if Oh Jin Hyek can repeat that perfect set that he had just put down. That's a 10. Oh Jin Hyek definitely laying down the 10 count. Looks like 8-10 so far in his 10 ring, just counting the holes as quickly as I could before they disappeared. That's another 10 for Im. These guys showing off that, you know, we're Koreans. We know how to do this thing.
Absolutely. That gold area of the target is taking a beating today.
Oh, yeah. Another 10. That's an X. There's a little faint line that's inside the 10 ring called the X ring, which is used to break ties in the qualification round. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. If they both shoot the same score, then things will get interesting. That's an 8.
The door is definitely opened here.
Oh, it is wide open, especially for Oh Jin Hyek. He can shoot a 9 and go to the gold medal match. 9 will take it. That's a 9.
And he will do that. Oh Jin Hyek of Korea will advance to the gold medal final.
And Dong Hyun still isn't disappointed with his performance. He could still walk away with a bronze medal, depending on who he faces coming up in the next semifinal. But definitely good shooting from Mr. O to take this match, considering Dong Hyun had a great performance starting out of the starting gates with an awesome group and an awesome score. But Oh Jin Hyek victorious, going to the gold medal match. And you see Dong Hyun here, who will be going to the bronze medal match.
Still one more semifinal matchup to go here. At semifinal matchup 2, you'll see yet another Korean, Kim Woo-jing, against Brady and Allison of the United States of America. So it's we could either see ourselves a all-Korean final at the gold medal stage, or we could see yet another Korea versus United States final. So it's still more action here at the 2011 World Archery Championships in Turin, Italy.